Wait, this is a question here from a guy called J12. I don't know if you heard about this, but his question is, "Hey fellas, not sure if this is for general public, but what do you think of Devon Dudley calling out Will Washington of AEW for being a snake and sabotaging people's pushes? Have you heard about this?"
No, but did you hear who he sabotaged, whose push he sabotaged or anything like that, or no? No names were given.
No, but would you like to hear? Did you hear that clip?
No, I did not.
Okay, so this is where the problem meet. Like, is mm,
So
like
you've
this.
been working on YouTube for 7 years and you still don't know how to work it?
This is the first live stream. So
No.
can you hear this clip, Conan?
Tony Khan said that one of the
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, this is the clip of Devon talking on his podcast.
dirt sheet writers confided in him that somebody from WWE PR floated this story, and it wasn't true that AEW had an agreement in principle with WBD.
WWE is not worried about Tony Khan. I can tell you that right off the bat. They ain't worried about him. Tony Khan is too busy worried about WWE. Someone who I admire very well in this business that works for AEW is Swerve. Great guy, but I do know that his cousin, I think it is, who's a dirt sheet writer, who basically is in Tony's ear a lot. That might have been the one that basically pretty much said that to him. If it was Swerve's cousin that said that to him, which probably was, as far as I'm concerned, from my understanding, from people in the locker room, the 3 times I was there in the meetings, every single person said he's a snake. And they don't know why Tony Khan is trusting him. I don't know him personally, but in what I've seen and his demeanor and all that, I got to tend to agree that they're probably right. He can write whatever he wants to say about me, but the bottom line is everybody in that locker room thinks that you're a snake. And if you're a snake, then if they think that, then chances are you probably are.
Swerve's cousin, I'm assuming you're talking Will Washington, who Tony Khan hired.
When I've asked the questions, who is that guy? I've gotten the same response from everybody. Even when I was on the Jericho cruise and his name came up, that was what was being said. And, again, I'm not going out there saying anything bad about him, but I'm telling you what the perception is about him within the company that he works for. And these are people that say,
Wow.
well, I'm nice to him because if I'm not nice to him, he'll go to Tony, say something, I'm off for TV. So I don't say anything.
That's very interesting. So just let me unpack everything that I'm thinking in my head as I'm thinking it. Number one, I've known Devon for quite a while, and he's a straight shooter. He wouldn't put out like that into the universe if he didn't believe it or hear it. So I'm going to ride with my boy on that one. Number two, I met Will Washington backstage. I didn't know he was Swerve Strickland's cousin, but I met him backstage, and he was very nice. And I guess him and Disco got into it. Well,
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah, I guess him and Disco got to it on Twitter. Because he said something like, "Yeah, I like you, and I also like Disco, And then later on, when I asked Disco, I go, "Who is this guy?" And he was like, "Well, he's some guy that I don't know if he had a website or he was a mark, or I'm not sure which one. Usually, they go hand in hand, nothing." And that he used to criticize Tony, right? And then all of a sudden he put him over once. Sounds like the guy that Trump hired to be the attorney general that used to bury him and then started saying nice things about him on Fox TV, and he hired him as attorney general. I think it was Burr or Barr. Anyways, and so he hired him. And I remember when I specifically talked to him, he was very respectful, which obviously goes a long way with anybody, right? He didn't seem aloof to me or anything like that, but he did say, I go, well, what's your job here? Which is kind of funny because I always heard that there were no writers there, right? And as a matter of fact, when AEW first started, that I was offered a job to either come out with LAX, which is what should have happened, right? But they went with Jericho wanted them, and then there was talk about me coming out with Pentagon and Phoenix, which that should have been very organic. But you saw who ended up managing them, you know, the hype boy himself with the Mickey Mouse gloves, and he looks like the Latino Tony Khan, Alex Abrahantes. And so I lost my train of thought. What was I saying, Hughley? Or you weren't listening probably. It looks like you're reading something.
About Will Washington.
Oh, yeah, Will Washington. I asked him. So I had asked Jericho after all that. He goes, well, let me know if you ever need anybody to write for the Mexican talent, right? He goes, oh, there's no writers here. And I was like, all right. And that was the end of that conversation. But he specifically told me, he goes, I'm here to write for the African-American talent. And I thought, well, nobody better than an African-American, right? So now you got to also understand this. You know, just like when you're a minority in the wrestling business, like the Samoans kind of stick together, the brothers kind of stick together. Not that they don't kick it with other people, but, you know, it's kind of the Mexicans, it's kind of a close-knit group for the most part, right? Somebody there must have told him from that black group, I'm thinking, because he doesn't write for white talent from what he told me, must have said, hey, this guy over or whatever he was told.
But do you think that this is from someone telling Devon this specifically? Because it does seem with AEW.
Yes, that was my point. The black talent, like the Mexican, like the Samoans, for the most part, are a very close-knit group, right? And somebody must have told them, a brother, and said, hey, this guy me over, this guy's a snake, or watch out. And he says he heard it various times. And so I'm thinking he probably heard it from mostly black talent, unless black talent told white talent and they told Devon that. I'm just assuming.
What do you then see as Tony Khan's reaction to this?
Bro, you can never tell with him. The key word for Tony for me is erratic. Like, you just never know what he's going to think or say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've had some pretty good confrontations with him that one day they will all come to light. But I'm sure he doesn't like it. You know, that somebody that he trusts is being called the snake in the grass. But he's so busy, you know, with ratings and are we going to get a new TV deal and doing PR and all that, that I don't even think he even knew about it. But I'm sure somebody, just the same day, go to him and go, oh, Konnan buried the show and Konnan did this. He's got some stooge that's probably going to show it to him. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.